Today, you're going to learn 5 ways to reduce stress, manage overwhelm, and avoid burnout, specifically for the working professional. I'm Dr. Desiree Van Bogart. Let me tell you a quick story about the day of my first marathon. Oh, the excitement's in the air. Your family and friends are cheering you on. It's super exciting and fun. And as you get going on the race, the cheering crowd is like ready to go. But all of a sudden, you're partially through the marathon and the crowd starts to thin. And all of a sudden, you hit this wall, what they call the wall in the marathon. It's basically when the glucose in the body gets depleted, and then you start to get extreme fatigue, physical fatigue, and then the mental fatigue sets in. Can I do this? Did I train enough? Am I going to make it? How much longer till I get to the end of this marathon? And if you just push through that wall, you get to the other side, and there is the crowd cheering you on. There's the finish line. There's the success at the end. And really, that does sound a lot like starting a business. And really, when it comes down to business, you have this grand vision. Your community's cheering you on. Your family is there supporting you. People are rooting for you. But then as things get going, the overwhelm of all the things you have to do, getting new clients, getting invoicing, getting your product or service up to speed, all starts to set in. And then your body starts to get stressed. You start to overthink things. You start to work late nights. Your body gets physically exhausted and the mental fatigue sets in, just like if you're running a marathon. And here's where the stress, which is really your body's ability to adapt to a changing environment, the overwhelm, that feeling that you just can't get everything done or it's not manageable, and then the burnout, which is just your body and your mind being completely exhausted, not being able to handle whatever is thrown at you sets in. So you are in luck, because today I'm going to give a talk specifically for our working professionals, our business owners, on how to reduce stress, reduce that overwhelming feeling, and avoid burnout. And now I have 5 ways to reduce chronic stress that are based on neurology of how the body works. Again, I'm Dr. Desiree Van Bogart. I'm a chiropractor in Anoka, and this talk is specifically designed on how to change the physiology of the body so you can avoid chronic stress. So listen up. Step number 1 is really to fall in love with the process of your business. Okay, this is going to be finding the passion in everything we do. Now, this might sound a little weird, but listen, you have a million thoughts going on in your mind. You have a million things that you need to be doing, but we need to focus. We need to be present with our clients, and we need to look at the long-term benefit of what we do. Okay, so stay with me here. But when you are engaged face-to-face with a customer, with a client, for me, it would be patients, whatever you call them, with your customer, when you are face-to-face with them, are you thinking about all the things that you need to do? Oh gosh, what am I going to have for dinner tonight? Oh my gosh, I just had a fight with my spouse. Oh my gosh, I'm thinking about the next person that's coming in, or the person that's in the waiting room. Like, you have all these things going on in your head. You need to be 100% focused and involved in the process of what you are currently doing. Now, I'm going to show you how to fall in love with the process of what you offer in just a moment. But really, I want you to think about what you're thinking about on a day-to-day basis. So listen up. Do you guys remember the Snuggie? It's basically the blanket you wear. It's like a roll backwards, really. It's kind of a ridiculously expensive blanket. Okay, it was all the rage. It went viral several years ago. But really, what these people were selling was not a blanket. It was not a robe. It was the Snuggie. And the way they put it out there was It really was about being warm and cozy in your environment, snuggling up with a good book or a movie, cuddling with your family, being able to put your arms around your kid and hug them while you're wearing a blanket. The Snuggie wasn't about the blanket, it was about the experience that you would have if you bought this blanket. So I want you to think about your business. Think about the product or service you offer and the big picture. So really think about that. It's not about, for me, being a chiropractor, it's not about chiropractic. It's about getting people to a new place in their health. And we'll talk about that more in just a minute. But when you're doing all your billing, when you're doing cold calling, when you're doing late nights working, trying to get things done, all those little things that you do throughout your day that seem to drive you nuts, you need to fall in love with them. You need to think big picture. So when I'm doing my chiropractic notes, I'm thinking of the big picture of how this helps my business and serves my community and my clients. When you change your mindset on all the things that you hate doing, you are going to see a huge improvement in how you feel about your business, which is really going to help reduce your stress. If you are chasing success, if you're looking for more collections, more clients, if you're always looking to get a bigger house, a better car, more money, more stuff, more accolades, if you're chasing success, you're going to burn yourself out. At some point in your business, the goal will not be good enough. You're not going to feel good enough. You'll always be chasing success. Now, if you're fulfillment driven and you really look at the goal and purpose of what you're trying to achieve with your business and in your community, if you really focus on what you're inspired to do, I don't care if you're selling a Snuggie or if you're doing life-altering surgeries, what you do is important, and you need to find that love of the process. That's going to extremely help you prevent the burnout phenomenon. All right. So step number 2 in how to avoid burnout and reduce stress is we need to increase neuroplasticity. All right. So here's where the science comes in. This is really where we develop and engage new brain cells. Well, okay, I'm going to show you how to do this. But it's so easy to forget the excitement when we get trapped in the stress, overwhelm, and the day-to-day stuff of our business. And we're going to bring you back to why you started doing what you do in the first place. Okay, so here's what you're going to do. This is how you change neuroplasticity. This is how you actually change your brain into loving anything you do. You are going to sit down and you are going to look for 50 ways you provide value to other people in your business. Okay, you're going to start with the obvious. For me, as a chiropractor, I'll give you this as an example. So 50 ways. I'm going to start with the obvious. I help people feel better. I improve their nervous system function. I prevent unnecessary surgeries. I decrease the use of medications and narcotics for my patients. These are all huge. This is what I do. This is what chiropractic is. Okay. Pretty obvious to me. You go into your business and you're going to start with 50 ways that you improve the lives of your people. Okay. Now it starts getting harder, right? So you're going to start diving deeper. Keep going. You're going to do this in one sitting. Don't stop. You're going to get 50. If 50 is easy, you're going to go to 100 reasons. Now you're going to go beyond the nuts and bolts of what your business does. So for me, I'm going to give you an example with chiropractic. We started with the obvious. I help people feel better. Now we're going to dive deeper. As you're writing this down, 50 to 100 ways that you improve someone's business. For me, I would dive deeper. I would say I make connections with people. I listen to them. I let people vent. I make people feel special. Sometimes people don't have anyone to talk to about their health problems. They come to me and I listen. I encourage people. And ultimately, when I started diving deep into this process to really start thinking how to change the brain and neuroplasticity, I dive deeper. And really what I do as a chiropractor is I give people hope. I give people the feeling that there's hope in their lives, that they will feel better, they'll function better, and they will be happier and live a better life. Now you have to find that for your business. And this is really where you dive deep and change the neuroplasticity of your brain. So Again, you're going to do this in one sitting. You're not going to stop till you hit 50 or even better yet, 100. Okay. You're just going to start writing anything that comes to your mind. If it pops into your mind, write it down. I don't care if it's silly. I don't care. No one's going to see this but you. Okay. And when you get stuck, keep thinking. This is where the neuroplasticity sets in. Just keep writing. Let your brain process all of those deeper thought processes to get them out of your head. Keep going. This is actually how you develop new brain cells. So you got to push through some of the, like, I can't think of anything else. Think. And all of a sudden, it just comes to you. This is how the brain works. So dive deep. All right. So you can do this process with anything that is holding you back, anything that is causing stress or overwhelm. Okay. So here I'm going to give you an example. If you are stuck with your marketing, you're going to sit down and you're going to list 50 ways you can engage clients for under $100. Okay. So now you're going to think. You're going to think. Okay. I can hand everybody a flyer that says, tell your friends and family. I can do a podcast. You're going to just keep coming up with marketing ideas. Think. You get stuck. You're going to be like, okay, I can go out on the street and wave to people. I don't care what it is. Let your brain process this. You're going to be amazed at what you come up with because it's in there. You just have to get it out. Here's another example. If you are stressed out finding employees, this is huge right now. People are having trouble finding and retaining help. Then sit down and list 50 ways to streamline your business to make your life easier for your current staff. This could be anything from, appreciation days for your staff to keep them to stay. This could be anything from giving a $100 bonus to an employee who refers someone to work there. Those kind of things. Just let it out. 50 to 100 ways. Let your brain process this. You're going to see the magic of how our brain actually comes up with answers if you push through this process and if you try this regularly. So try it once. Try it again. Try for anything that's causing you to be stuck. This is neuroplasticity and how the brain works. You will love this if you actually do it. Okay. Step number 3 in how to reduce stress and overwhelm is you're going to train your brain. Okay. So real quick, I'm going to talk about right and left brain neurology for just a minute. Our left brain is very detailed oriented. This is where we do our reading, our writing, our speaking, our fine motor skills. Okay. This is, if you have weakness in the left brain, you are going to have problems like chronic colds and illnesses. You're going to have difficulty with reading, writing, and calculations, math type stuff. You're going to have speech issues, and you're going to start having anxiety, rapid heartbeats. This is where we live in the left brain is our sympathetic nervous system. All right, the sympathetic nervous system is our fight or flight or freeze response. It's the response where you're in danger. This is also the sympathetic nervous system in the left brain is also where you hold your stress. When you cannot adapt to your environment, you're in a sympathetic state. Okay, your body's trying to protect you. And this is why you get anxiety, is because your heart rate goes up, you start getting palpitations, you start breathing heavier, you start thinking. Your body's trying to protect you because you're so stressed out. And the more time you spend in the sympathetic state, the more likely you're going to have chronic colds, autoimmune disorders, health issues, gut issues, chronic fatigue. People who live in a sympathetic state usually are not healthy, usually are on the brink of that overwhelm. Okay. So now we're going to talk about the right brain, which sees more big picture. This is your creative side. This is where, let's see, you are more sympathetic towards people. You're more nurturing towards people. You're a lot happier in this mode because this is our parasympathetic state. So right brain stuff is a parasympathetic state. And what that is your rest and digest state. We need to be in this state more often because this is where your body starts healing, resting. You'll feel less fatigued in this. You'll have better digestion. You'll overall feel much, much better. This this is the state we want to be in most of the time because this is how we keep ourselves healthy. Yes, sympathetic state is good for, oh my gosh, we're super busy. I'm all jazzed up. I got to like get all this stuff done. Great. But at the end of the day, you don't want to stay in a chronic sympathetic state. You need to move to the parasympathetic so you can get a good night's sleep. Okay. So this is huge. How do we do that? How do we get ourselves more into a parasympathetic state so we can reduce chronic stress? So with this, we're going to do more training to get in that parasympathetic state. And it's really kind of weird. We're going to start activating different things to put us into that state. Now, the right side of the brain loves creativity. So you're going to do things, if you're really stressed out, that activate the creativity. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen those like coloring books for adults where you can color in there. If you like doing that, that is going to put you more in a sympathetic state. For me, I would do something like do some artwork with my kids, anything that engages your brain. So I'm going to draw, my favorite animal is a pig. So I'm going to draw a colorful pig with my kids to activate that parasympathetic state. Things with art. Things with large body movements is going to activate that parasympathetic state as well. So making sure you have large arm movements, literally engaging your body, jumping jacks. You're going to open it up. Anything with large body movement. So if you go for a walk, you're going to swing your arms. That's actually going to engage your brain into that relaxing state. A couple other things I thought of was doing things with so not only just the creativity, but doing things that engage eye movements. So that was another one that I thought was really fun. This also gets you into that right side brain activity, which is going to put you in that parasympathetic state. A couple of things that is like table tennis, where you have to watch the ball, like quick eye movements. Do you guys remember the game Jacks, where you had to like bounce the ball and pick up the jacks? That's a really good game for it. You could even take a tennis ball and just like throw it against the wall and make sure you're catching it. Again, that's incorporating bigger arm movements, but it's also engaging the eyes, which is going to be a right-sided brain parasympathetic state activity. Okay, so kind of fun. Give them a try. It actually does help. And the fourth way to combat stress is going to be high intensity exercise. I love this one because exercise is really the only thing that helps us naturally increase serotonin. Serotonin is a neurotransmitter in our brain that helps enhance your mood. It is often, we will have SSRIs prescribed for mood disorders such as depression and anxiety. Now, if you could naturally boost your serotonin through exercise, you're going to feel better. Your body's going to react better. You're actually going to get a better night's sleep. All of those things are important. Serotonin helps your body process that. So again, we're going to do high intensity exercise. People tell me all the time that they exercise, and they really don't. They go for a walk. And I'm sorry, but if you are over the age of 75 or you have a heart condition, then walking is a perfectly acceptable form of exercise. If you are under 75 and you have a healthy heart, I'm sorry, you have to do more. We need high intensity exercise, okay? So it can be short, but you need to get your heart pumping and you need to be short of breath while you do your exercise. So for example, we already want to be in a parasympathetic state. So again, do jumping jacks, get your heart rate up to your level of fitness, but the more you can get your heart rate up in short sprints, the more you're going to activate natural serotonin, which is what we want to reduce stress. If you have trouble figuring out how to do high intensity exercise, then go watch kids play. Go to a playground and just watch them. They are masters of using their body. They do the monkey bars. They go down the slides. They swing. They jump. They do things they probably shouldn't even do because it's just crazy. But they're always moving their bodies in big ways, and they're always getting that high intensity exercise. They'll come up to you just exhausted. So if you have trouble figuring out what to do, just go watch them for 20 minutes. In fact, just go to the playground, play with some kids. It will change your body. It will change the physiology and the neurochemical reactions in your body to help you reduce stress. All right. Fifth way, my fifth and final way to help you reduce chronic stress is to improve your posture. All right. So this is kind of cool because this is free. We spend our whole lives in flexion, in this crunched up position. We sit at our computers and we're like on the mouse and our heads we're looking at our phone. What is this? Looking down at our phone, playing video games. We're in this chronic flexion position. And what happens is with posture research, we have actually found that with poor posture, you will get cerebellum deficiency. Now, what that is at the very base of your skull, right at the top of your neck here, is where that sits. Now, the cerebellum is responsible for coordination and balance. This is really important that we keep our posture good, because what happens is if we do not, and we're always looking down, what's going to happen is we're going to have a lot of pressure put on that cerebellum. Okay, so this again is important for posture, balance. So we're going to talk about how to not only open things up, we're also going to work on balance. The reason it's important to have good posture to take pressure off of this is because if you do not, and you have tension here, it's going to put you back in that sympathetic state. It's going to put you in that fight, flight, freeze conditioning where you're always tense and you're always anxious and your shoulders are up like this and your neck's like this. We have to break that cycle. And it is simple as opening your body. Opening your chest, opening, extension is looking up, opening up, and stretching. You have to break the cycle of flexion or you're going to end up like this hunched old little man, little lady that can't straighten up. So easy steps to change posture is literally get up every 20 minutes and do extension exercises. Look up, open up, just release that flexion position, that curled up position. Another really fun way to do this is what I call the chicken neck, is you really just start pushing your neck back. So we're in this forward position. We really want to just start making this double chin, pushing back and doing this chicken neck exercise to really start training the back of our neck and opening up that posture. You will see a huge difference, especially if you sit at a computer all day. If you set a timer and get up every 20 minutes or so, it will make a huge difference, not only on your posture, but it will help you take you out of that sympathetic state to reduce stress. Okay, so those are 5 relatively easy and free things to do to combat stress. We talked about finding your passion and falling in love with the process of your business, even those boring activities. We're going to work on neuroplasticity, creating new brain connections. Like I mentioned, writing 50 to 100 things that you do to benefit your clients. We're also going to train our brain, right? So we're going to get out of that sympathetic mode by using big arm motions, being creative, getting out of that left-sided brain, that sympathetic state, and being creative and going back into our right-sided brain, getting into the parasympathetic rest digest stage. And we also talked about going to commit ourselves to high intensity exercise. Intense exercise, short periods of time, 5, 10, 15 minutes, I don't care. Get your heart rate up. And then also you're going to fix your posture so you don't rot your brain from the back. It's crazy. All of these things that I just taught you are based on neurology and how the body works. So if you do these, it will actually reduce the physiological symptoms of stress, overwhelm, and that burnout feeling. I promise you. Here's the deal though. You have to do these things and you have to do them consistently. They're all free. They're relatively easy to do. If you commit to doing these, I promise you, you are going to change your neurology. I'll just tell you that your business needs you. Your business counts on you to do these things to stay healthy. If you're stressed out and you don't show up, your community and your clients aren't getting served. So please, if you have any questions, if you feel like you maybe need a little more help in understanding how your body works, if you're feeling the effects of a chronic disease, chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, chronic pain syndromes, headaches, migraines, chronic low back pain, these are all areas that are not helped by the stress you're going through. If you need a little extra help, we're here for you. I am offering a free consultation and exam in my office for anybody who's looking for that next step, that next level in their health to help you stay active in your business and reduce that burnout feeling. Because if you're not there, then your business suffers. Please check out our free consult. And if you have any questions, please just reach out to our office and have fun reducing your stress with those 5 free fun ways to reduce overwhelm. I wish all the best for you, and thanks for tuning in.